So wisdom can be found in many places. In the Talmud, the Tanakh, and occasionally even in a fashion magazine. Over the summer, I was wandering the internet and I came across an article in Bazaar magazine. I always got a kick out of the name of the magazine. As a kid, I used to think that Bazaar magazine must have been a spin-off of Mad magazine. And then I learned that bizarre and bazaar sound alike, but alas, they are spelled differently and mean very different things. So the clickbait article that I couldn't resist in the fashion magazine was titled 8 Reasons Why Your Oldest Friends Are Utterly Irreplaceable. It was a 2017 article, and I was curious to see if pre-COVID friendship advice might have been any different than the nuggets of advice that we've been receiving over the past 18 months. It wasn't much different. Spoiler alert. But during COVID, I've been thinking a lot about friendships. I have reconnected with many old friends, and to be honest, I've lost touch with a few friends as well. But this year is my 30th college reunion, and now my group of friends are spread across the world. One of the guys had the idea of doing a Zoom, though. Just figuring out the time of day was fun because this group is literally spread from Seattle to Singapore. We settled on a date and time, and when we appeared on our Zoom boxes, everyone picked up right where we had left off. It was exciting to revive old jokes and hear what was happening in people's lives and extend these old friendships into a new decade. These calls continued for months. Some of us even saw each other on occasional business trips. Old friends are unique. Henry Longfellow wrote a short poem called An Old Friend Thought. We may build more splendid habitations, fill our rooms with paintings and with sculptures, but we cannot buy with gold the old associations. I agree with him. Old friends are different. Proverbs said, better is a friend who is near than a brother who is far away. Old friends know us from a different time. Some of my oldest friends know me before I was actually a grown-up. They're the ones that tell me I'm supposed to act like a grown-up. Old friends come from before there were academic degrees or job titles, from before there were real responsibilities. Some of mine come from a time when a big financial splurge was getting guacamole on my burrito if I had just been paid. We knew each other's parents and kitchens and backyards. They not only know the nicknames, but they know how the names came to be. Old friends were part of those stories. And this year I've been thinking about those friends. So I clicked. 8 reasons why your oldest friends are utterly irreplaceable. Now I'm not going to unpack each one, but are you ready to hear the 8? Okay, you're better than nothing, you're saying. Okay. So number 1, I don't know how they're ranked, but here's the order. Number 1, they remind us of who we are. Absolutely. Old friends are part of our foundation. They're part of our origin story, if you will. The good, the bad, and even the ugly. Number 2, they offer the ease of family without the pressure. Like family, they have known us forever. Number 3, they know everything about you and love you anyway. And hopefully that's like family too. Number 4, they know immediately how to make you feel good. Number 5, you don't need to like the same stuff to get along. Number 6, they're often the people who are most likely to be truly honest with you. Number 7, they hold the nostalgia card. And number 8, they understand the nuances of your family. And I want to add one more. that might be subsumed by some of the others, but I want to add number 9, old friends know your life's soundtrack. Literally, they might know what cassette was in my Sony Walkman back in the day, but they also know the sounds of my life, my dog's bark, or my dad's voice. A few days ago, I ran into a friend whom I had not seen in 25 years. It was an unexpected reunion. We were at the same simcha in person, and we did the COVID dance. Are we going to fist bump or handshake or hug, click elbows? I met her husband. We gave each other some highlights of the last 2.5 decades. We each have 3 kids. We talked about college searches, Zoom or in-person schooling, jobs, marriages, divorce, new relationships, our siblings. Each of our fathers have died. We asked about each other's moms. Our 15-minute encounter was winding down, and as she walked away, she turned and said, "I know you said it's been 11 years since your dad died, but I want you to know how sorry I am. I remember him as being such a good person. I remember him as being such a good person and so warm. I know you were very close with him." And I stood there for a moment, and I let her kindness sink in. Her comment was something different. This was an old friend who knew my dad. She had heard his laugh and seen his smile. She had seen his ugly white sneakers he loved, as well as his beat-up slippers he constantly wore at home. She had felt his generosity when any of my friends were going through a hard time. She was bearing witness to my dad's life in a way that my newer friends just can't. Sure, there are plenty of people who are kind to listen to my reminiscing, but far fewer who can testify to my dad's character and humor and quirks. I wanted that to sink in because in that moment, all of those qualities were alive again within me. In that moment, I felt him again. It was just a moment, but it was real, and it was important. I thanked her, and we parted ways. It is sad to me that the number of people who had a relationship with my dad is no longer increasing. It is over a decade now, and I still cherish the stories old friends share with me about my dad, the advice he offered them, or the space to just enjoy a lunch together. Dad got to meet all 5 of his grandchildren, but Dad's influence on them is now indirect. It's channeled through the stories we share and the stories my old friends share. I have the same obligation to my old friends as well. I have to help their kids know their parents and grandparents. I want to tell the stories of the lives of Beverly and Ruthie and Toby and others. These aren't just the parents of my old friends. They were part of my growing up, too. These were some of the adults who cared for me, and my old friends will share stories of my dad with my kids. I deeply care for my friends that I have made as a grown-up. These friends are active parts of my life and enrich my life in so many ways. And over the years, I have learned stories of my friends' parents about Bridget and Herschel and Bernie. I see the impact my friends' parents had on them, and I wish I had the chance to know my friends' parents more. But it's a part of them I can only know through stories. There is a special place for old friends. Some of them annoy me, annoy me in the exact same way as back in the day. And I'm blessed to have many old friends who continue to be part of my daily life. They're part of my current soundtrack of life. Bizarre and a bazaar. Life is both. But there are many reasons old friends are utterly irreplaceable, including being witness to people who are no longer here. Let's make sure we continue to nurture these old friendships. There are so many reasons old friends are irreplaceable, including that they are the ones who knew the people we loved when we were all younger. You would have liked my dad. Just ask any of my old friends. In a moment, we'll turn to page 290 to begin the Yizkor service.